You know, it's funny how often we walk right past things, thinking they're just junk, a bit of trash, a weird-looking rock, but every now and then, one of those unassuming objects turns out to be a key, one that can unlock a story stretching back centuries and connect us to the past in ways you just can't imagine. And that is exactly what happened here. Our story kicks off with this. Yeah, just a simple, dirty piece of metal. It was found, totally by chance, in a schoolyard by an 8-year-old kid named Louis-Félix Levasseur. So, picture it, a schoolyard up in Quebec. Kids are running around, playing, doing their thing, and that's when Louis-Félix spots something on the ground. It's old, it's grimy, honestly, it could have easily been kicked aside and forgotten forever. But Louis-Félix, well, he was a curious kid. Instead of just tossing it away, he picked it up and showed it to his teacher. And that one simple move, it set off this incredible chain reaction that led from a schoolyard discovery all the way to museum curators. So, this brings us to the object itself. Once the experts got their hands on it, the real investigation could begin. What in the world did this 8-year-old boy actually find buried in the dirt? Well, it turns out it was an American seated Liberty halftime. You can see it right there on the front, the date, 1857, and on the back, clear as day, it says halftime. This was a 160-year-old piece of American history just sitting there on Canadian soil. Let's dig into the details here, because this wasn't just any old coin. It's a 90% silver halftime, minted in Philadelphia. And the fact that there's no mint mark, that's how we know it came from the main U.S. Mint in Philly. Just think about that. This tiny little object, it weighs just over a gram, has somehow survived for more than 150 years. And this is where its whole journey started, the Philadelphia Mint. This very coin was struck in a place just like this one, way back when. So the huge question is, how on earth did it end up hundreds of miles away in a Quebec schoolyard? To answer that, we have to look at where it was found, because as it turns out, the location is every bit as important as the coin itself. See, this isn't just any school. Louis-Félix goes to L'École des Ursulines de Quebec. It was founded all the way back in 1639, making it the oldest school for girls' education in all of North America. Suddenly, that patch of dirt seems a lot more interesting, doesn't it? The history of this school is just incredible. It was founded way back in 1639. It survived a massive fire that destroyed the first monastery. It was damaged during the British bombardment of Quebec, and it only started admitting boys, like our friend Louis-Félix, in 2010. I mean, this place has seen almost 400 years of history. And take a look at this. This painting shows you what the grounds looked like centuries ago. Just try to imagine all the people who walked here, the stories these walls could tell. Someone, at some point, dropped that little halftime right where Louis-Félix would find it, generations and generations later. So, a historic coin found at a historic site? I mean, that alone is a fantastic story. But what if it wasn't just a random discovery? What if there was a personal connection here? One so deep that it almost feels like fate. This right here is where the story goes from really cool to truly unbelievable. Let's unpack the Levasseur connection. It turns out Louis-Félix isn't just some random student. No, he is the 12th generation descendant of a man named Laurent Levasseur, who was one of the very first settlers of New France, arriving way back in the 1660s. And here's the part that'll give you goosebumps. His ancestor, Laurent Levasseur, had 2 daughters. And where did these 2 daughters live out their lives as nuns around the year 1700? Right here, at the Ursulines monastery, the exact same ground where their descendant, 12 generations later, would find that coin. It's just incredible. I mean, just look at this. You have Laurent Levasseur, who arrived in the 1660s, and then you can trace this unbroken chain all the way down through 12 generations of family history, leading directly to Louis-Félix. A direct line connecting the distant past to this amazing moment of discovery in his own schoolyard. So, what happens to a discovery like this? An object that connects the past and the present so perfectly and tells such an amazing story? Well, Louis-Félix and his teacher did exactly the right thing. They presented the coin to the curator of the Ursulines Monastery's cultural hub. It's going to be preserved and put on display in their museum, right there on the site where it was found, for everyone to see. Its story is now officially a part of the monastery's incredible history. And this personal story is actually part of a much bigger effort to keep family history alive. This here is the coat of arms of the Levasseur Association, a group that's dedicated to preserving the heritage of all of Laurent Levasseur's many descendants. You know, the association works to make sure stories just like this one don't get lost to time. They bring descendants together, they promote historical research, and they honor their ancestors by creating archives so that this history stays alive for generations to come. Which brings us right back to where we started, a simple piece of metal. This whole incredible story of history, of family, of fate was unlocked all because a curious 8-year-old boy decided to take a closer look. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What treasures, what amazing stories are hiding just beneath our own feet, just waiting to be found?